Hey fellow crafters, this is Carrie and welcome to Carrie's Crochet and Craft. And I am taking up a challenge put out there by Dana's Wunderlust Crochet. I need to look that up. Sorry, Dana. Dana's Wunderlust Yarns or Wunderlust Crochet, something like that. Ugh, can't remember. I can't believe I don't remember that. Anyway, she had put out a Scorched Earth challenge, and what that means is to just kind of, you know, a great catastrophe has come, scorched the earth, you have to start from scratch. Only she's applying it to her yarn that she has. She has so much yarn, she just wants to use it all up and not feel guilty about buying new yarns, or just not to have a bunch of yarns hanging around. And so she is going from March 1 to March 1. She has a stash of yarns and projects and stuff that she just wants to complete and get done with it, get rid of it, whatever. So she put the challenge out there for other crafters as well, so I'm taking up on it. And I have a lot of yarn that I need to get rid of. And some of this yarn I've had, well, yeah, this pink yarn right here was some of the first yarn I ever bought when I was first learning to crochet, and that was 20 years ago. So I have had this yarn for 20 years. Now I did make it up into a blanket at one point, but being new to the crochet field, I was teaching myself and I didn't like how the blanket turned out, and so I ripped it all up and rolled it into a ball, and I actually have used some of it in another project which I'm going to show you because it's an unfinished project and that I'm going to add to my list of stuff. So I have a bunch of yarn and projects that I want to complete from between March 1, 2021 and March 1, 2022. So let me show you what all I have here. Okay, I'll just start right here. This is a project that I started. There's no real pattern for it. It was just something that I found this really neat stitch, and I thought it may be really cool as a blanket or a scarf or something. Anyway, I got really into making them, and I had this, it's Vanna's Choice yarn, and I just started making chains of this particular stitch, and I'll show you here. These are all attached, and so you start by doing this, I don't know if it's a puff stitch or what, but you go around and then you go around and then you go around and then you start on the next one, and it's just all attached all together. So you have this big long chain, and I made several of these. Let's see, there must be another one somewhere. I only have two purple here. I made enough to you know, put them alternating, purple green, purple green. And my idea was just to have this, well, maybe it is. I only have three greens, so green, purple, green, yeah. Thought I made more than that, but I guess I didn't. So I made these thinking it would make a nice blanket or something, or a shawl maybe. But once I got them all made, then my dilemma has been, for quite some years now, how to attach them. So I've spent some time trying to figure out, you know, do I sew them together, or I thought of taking some of the brown yarn and just doing a stitch in between that kind of attaches, you know, but leaves some space of brown in between, and then be like flowers in the garden. If any of you have suggestions for how to stitch that will combine the two, you know, combine them into rows, I would love to know it, because I want to get this project done. And you can see it's not as tall as me. It's about 4.5. I'm 5'2", so that's about 4.5 feet tall. Okay, so this is another yarn I want to get rid of. This I got in a bulk bag yarn, and I've used some of it to make a scarf or a cowl or something. So I want to use the rest of that up. I've made this yarn. It's also bulk yarn. I've made this into a couple of cowls that I actually have for sale on my Etsy site. And this is just the rest of it, so I want to use this up somehow. Another bulk yarn that I got. I love the blues and purples of this. Focus. And I just, I think I've made something with it, but I don't remember what. But I want to be able to use the rest of this up. Then I got this fun yarn at a really good deal. It's Rockstar yarn, and it's just a really fun textured yarn. And I think I got them for like $1 a skein or something like that. So anyway, I'll give you a little. I do have a couple of items that I've made from this on my Etsy site. I've made a couple of purses, and I've made some cowls that are really fun. So I just have a lot more of this yarn to use up. I will probably try to make some capelets out of it. And I might even try making a blanket out of it, maybe combining it with other yarns, just to not have it be all this texture, but to give it kind of some different. So I have lots of colors for those. I have 9 different colors, and I have probably 5 to 8 skeins of each of these left to use up. Just really fun yarn. All right. In here, I have so much to use up, you guys. I have a bunch of the Fun Fur yarns, and just all different colors. Some other like faux fur yarn here. Just a bunch of fun fur. I've seen an Afghan that uses that's it for an ice cream cone pattern, and for each of the scoops, you know, it has a different colors for the ice cream. And so I thought that this would make a fun ice cream blanket. And so I might look into doing that with this, but I also make little stuffed owls, and I like to use different textures of yarn with my owls as well. So I'll probably use some of this for those as well. I made some of those sleep blankets for my boys. I made a dragon tail, and I made a hot dog. So this is some of the leftover blanket yarn from that. So I need to find out something to do to get rid of the rest of this yarn. I have a bunch of the Vanna's Choice yarn. I have these colors here, but I'm pretty sure I have more in this tub here. So we'll come over here and I'll show you some more items. So this pile right here is yarn that I got, mostly Red Heart Super Saver, but there's some I think there's Big Twist here. But I was looking for yarns. I wanted to try one of those temperature blankets. So I forget what year this is from. I have the papers here. I don't know if this gives the year or not. 2016. So 5 years ago, I started a temperature blanket. I recorded all the, I recorded all the temperatures on the calendar because I kept falling behind. So I made sure to write the temperatures on all the dates, and I was gonna finish it like within the next year, and I never did. And so it's, you know, it got pretty long. I got most of the way through. I think I got through into September. So really pretty. I just never got it done. So I think I might just finish this off as it is and not try to add on the rest, because it is pretty long already. And I did 1 row per day, and I did the moss stitch, which is crochet or single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then the next row you single crochet in the chain, and then chain 1, single crochet in the next chain. So it didn't make it big and bulk or too ultra long like if you did a row of single crochet. It makes it a little bit shorter, but never got that done. probably just going to finish this as is, so I have all the yarn that's left over from this. I have been using some of it in other projects, but now I need to figure out what to do with the rest of this. I just want it gone. So some of the purple yarn, I actually know some things that I'm going to do with that, and that'll come up later. Another blanket. Let me scooch down here. Another blanket that I started was Happy Hearts Afghan by Red Heart. You can see it's got the hearts on there. So I did it, they have it in blue and red, I don't know, pink, and a purple maybe. But I chose yarns that I had, and this is what I used this pink yarn in. And then I have, this was kind of the determining, I had picked this skein up somewhere, it's really old. And so I used this yarn as the deciding factor for the other yarns to go with this. So I have a dark green, I have this, it's not really a mint green, but it's a lighter green. This cream color, more the multi, and then the pink. And then for the hearts, I used some of the Lion Brand Thick and Quick to make the little hearts. So I don't have much left to this quilt. I have all of the squares done actually. Oops, dropped one. And all that's left to do, I think I have a few hearts left to make. I'm not completely sure if I actually got all the hearts done, but then all I need to do is apply them onto these squares, the squares that have hearts on them, and then attach all the squares together and add the, I don't know if there's a, yes, and there's an edging after that. So really not that much left to do. Oops, excuse me, I'm just gonna get you back up here. To get this done, I just need to get the hearts onto the squares and the squares together and then the edging on. But I had started this project, oh, it's a copyright 2008, so we'll just say it's probably from about 2008 that I started this. And so yeah, that needs to be done and be on its way to wherever it's going. Gift or someone, or sell it, or use it ourselves. I don't know, but it needs to get done. So let's go over here. I'll show you some more. So another project that I started and never finished, I was starting to make myself a cardigan. And you can see I've got a sleeve on, I've got the bodice together, the front and backs, and you know, this side is completely done. I don't have that side together. And then this, well, I have the sleeve done, I just don't have it hooked onto, look at that, I found one of my hooks. So I need to finish this sleeve. If it's not done, might not be done, might be, I'm not sure, because I ran into a problem with this. And that problem is, now I can't remember what the type of the yarn. It was like Red Heart Soft, or oh, what was it? Anyway, it was one where they changed it, like they changed the thickness of it and they kept calling it the same yarn. So I was making this and I ran out of yarn and I went to the store to get some more, bought it, came home, and it was a thicker yarn. I mean, it's the same yarn, but it was thicker. And I haven't been able to finish it because I ran out of the yarn. And this is actually supposed to have a hood on it as well and pockets. And so I had enough for the sleeve, I think, but I didn't have enough for the hood or for the pockets. And I couldn't use that yarn because it was so much thicker, it wasn't going to be the right gauge. And so it went into a pile and sat for a while. I finally went and got, now it's the same yarn again, but it's the thicker yarn, but I had enough yarn to finish this, and then I have enough yarn to sew it together. But I thought, well, I can do an accent yarn for the hood and for the pockets maybe. I might even just decide to leave the hood and the pockets off. I do actually have the hood done though. It just needs to be sewn on. I went and chose a complementary or a contrasting color. It's, you know, it's kind of a heather, so it has the whitish color in there. So anyway, this is the hood, and then I have more yarn to do the pockets. So this is just another one of those projects. It's been sitting around for a while because, you know, the yarn issue. So want to get this done. It's going into the Scorched Earth Challenge. Here's another unfinished project. This was a crochet along from yarnspirations.com. And I think, I don't know if any of you have followed the crochet crowd, I think it was. They do a lot of crochet alongs with Mikey. Anyway, so I was following along on this. The challenge was to choose yarns I think that you wouldn't normally think would go together. And I just chose some, oh look, there's another hook. No wonder I have to keep buying more hooks. I'm leaving my hooks with my projects. So I actually just chose some yarns that I had in my own stash, and I don't know that I particularly like how it turned out. That's another reason I haven't really tried to finish it much, is I'm not really keen on how the colors came out. We have black, forest green, kind of a slate blue gray, and then the red. And I don't know, some people might like it. I'm not entirely keen on it, but I do want to get it done since it is almost done. Seriously, I'm working on the edging. I don't know that I like the edging per se. So I don't know. It's got, you know, I'm on the third row of the edging. It's got the green there to attach all the squares on the outside, then it's got the blue double crochet, then the green again, and then you do a, I don't know what stitch that is. I'm sure my directions say. But anyway, I forget how many rows of edging it actually has. But I don't really like how it's turning out. It's kind of roughly, I might just finish it anyway. We'll see. I do have the yarn to finish it. So, got these, and then I have black somewhere. More black. It's Karen Simply Soft. And Karen Simply Soft and Red Heart Soft. Combo of those two yarns. So anyway, got to get this project done so it's not taking up space in my craft room. I'll just leave the hook in there since I'm going to get back to it. Alright, so that's it for the projects that are on my Scorched Earth list. I have other projects that I actually have going, and I actually have more yarn than what you see here, which is why I'm really wanting to get rid of this yarn. So we have here, this is a whole tub of either Karen Simply Soft or Red Heart Soft. I think most of it's Karen Simply Soft because I really liked Karen Simply Soft for a while. It's a little frustrating to work with though because it's the lighter weight, and before I realized that, you know, it was a slightly lighter weight than an actual worsted weight, even though it is a size 4. It makes the gauge go off when you're following a pattern for a regular worsted weight, and you're making it with this, the gauge is all off. Anyway, so I have, purple, this rosy pink color, this red color, green and blue. Oh, and then I have the sparkles too. Those make fun hats and stuff for Christmas. I have the black sparkle, got a pink, I've got more of this blue color. So lots of this Karen Simply Soft. I'm going to find lots of patterns made specifically for this yarn and get this used up. I already have a couple in mind, so we'll get this yarn out of here. And then this tub right here is a mishmash. There might actually be, yes, there is even another project in here that I started a long time ago. I was starting to make some granny hexagons, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, hexagons. And I was making some with a red and black pattern. You know, each row is a different yarn, and you do them in different patterns. And then I was going to also do the same thing with blues. So I have that. And then I was going to make them all into a pretty afghan. Now I really want to continue this. The problem is, when I started this, my gauge was a little tighter than it is now. I used to have a somewhat tight gauge when I crocheted, a tight stitch, and I also don't remember which hook I was using, and I'm pretty sure I didn't leave a hook in here like with my other projects. So yeah. So I have to figure out a hook to use with this that will get the same gauge as the rest of these, so that I can finish this blanket up. So that's on my scorched list project as well. Oh, that's with the same red there. This is a cashmere yarn that I have. I want to use that up. Then there's some other yarns in here. Oh yeah, here's another project actually. This is one from a Vanna White book. This one right here, actually. I loved Vanna White when I first started crocheting, and I still do, but she was starting to come out with all of her books, and I think I have 3 of them. I don't know if she has any more after that, but pretty sure I have 3 of her books. So anyway, I made this, where is it? There's a little purse. All that needs to be done on this is applying the handles and then a button on the other side here. That's all that needs to be done to complete that. Then I made a hat in the same pattern. All that needs to be done is, you know, put that in there. But this is something, I had some more of that yarn left over, and so I was making it into a stole, a shawl, a small shawl, and it just been needing to finish it, and I was just going to use up the rest of this yarn to complete it, and I don't know how long it'll make it. It might make a better cowl than a stole or a shawl, but anyway, it won't take much to finish this, and it'll be done. So this Scorched Earth challenge will be good for me to focus on getting these things done. So, like I said, this isn't even some of the yarn that I have. I'm not even sure it might be half of the yarn that I have. We'll see. But anyway, Dana, thank you so much for this challenge, because it's really going to help me focus to get things done, get them completed, and get the yarn out. And if any other crafters out there want to join, and just use the hashtag Scorched Earth Challenge, I think it is, and yeah, get rid of some yarn. And even part of the Scorched Earth Challenge, I guess, is to also give the yarn away. It's basically just to get rid of the yarn, get it out of your house, get it out of your hair, get it off of your mind. This stuff just hangs and hangs and hangs, because want to get it done, want to get it out of the house, and make room for more yarn, right? Thanks for joining me, and I hope you follow along as I start to get rid of all this yarn, and also on all the other projects that I start to work on. And we'll just kind of see where this channel goes. I have some other crafts that I have planned to work on as well, things to help for helping around the homestead, and because I also have another channel, Wild Woodland Lavender Farm, and so I'll have a lot of craft projects to actually do for that as well. So happy crafting, everyone.